Hello Capricorn, Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead. Happy weekend to you, my friends. I hope you're well. Here we go, Capricorn. Let's find out what's going on for you in the week ahead. Capricorn, I am using just 9 cards. We're going to do a 9-card draw this week. Find out what's going on for you. Welcome here. Thank you for the thumbs up. If that's what you choose to do when you're here, you are in fact just building your own tribe when you do that. So thank you for doing that. If you are somebody who just rolled up here to all these shenanigans, welcome. I hope you'll stay. And if you keep coming back, thanks for doing that. Look at the end of this video. I'm going to tell you how to get the extended or to get into the membership area if you want to go there. I'm also going to talk about private reads. Let's find out what is going on for you, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Let's talk about Capricorn. What's going on for Capricorn in this 9-card read today? We do have the 8 of Swords in the reverse, and I love it because, look, I think you've been thinking something to death here. Feels like you are in this energy of finally coming out of a place where you felt stuck. And I think that the place where you felt stuck was that you couldn't stop planning, you couldn't stop working. It feels like you've been working on something really hard, and it's like you were in the planning stages, and it took a lot of your time, effort, and energy mentally is what it looks like. I think that the 8 of Swords is telling me that now that things are flourishing and beginning to grow, that you no longer have to overthink the situation. You're starting to gain ground. So it does feel like now you can let up on your work schedule. You don't have to do so much overtime. Maybe you're building a business, right? The 7 of Pentacles for me goes 7, 8, 9. And so it's like throwing the seeds of intention. You have an intention to plant something and nurture it. And it feels like you were overdoing it or overthinking it. Or, I mean, I never met a Capricorn who didn't overdo it. In the planning stages or in the work stages, y'all are just the hardest workers of all. And, all the earth signs are, I mean, all of the signs have some of that as well. It's not just exclusive to the earth signs, but you definitely are the CEO of the of all of the astrologies. And so you're the planner. I feel like the 10 of Swords is telling me that finally you get some relief, because I want to say that finally the seeds that you have planted begin to take root, and now you start to see them poking through the soil. It feels like you've been growing something or paying attention to something, and it feels like it's finally relief that you're beginning to see that things are starting to grow. And so now all you have to do is nurture it. All the hard work is done here. So I feel that's why the 8 of Swords is in the reverse. You don't have to keep planning. The plan is working, I'm going to say. If you were wondering, I'm going to say the plan is working. We've got the Empress at the heart of the matter here. We've got the Ace of Swords, which I love because it feels like you were having some sort of aha moment or a realization. Like it's a mental clarity that you're having here, that you no longer have to fight for this, that this was always intended to be yours, whatever it is that I'm talking about, and we'll clarify further, that this thing was always intended to be yours. The only job that you had, Capricorn, is to become the Empress. The only job you had is to focus on you, make sure that you were good, and just sort of cut out all the noise. And when I say cut out all the noise, it's like all the naysayers, or the people who told you couldn't do it, or the people who were trying to get into your life and date you while you were on this path of, I've got to keep rolling, like I've got to keep going, I've got to keep planning, I've got to keep working hard. I feel like you began to focus on yourself. Once you could finally get a little bit of relief from all of the hard work, you finally look up, and what you notice is, oh, and just like that, I became the Empress. It feels like all your hard work now is paying off, and it's sort of a moment of clarity, of realization that I can stop fighting. I don't have to fight for it anymore. Not mentally, for sure. We've got the Chariot. We've got the Star. Oh, I like that. And we've got the Justice card in the reverse. So look, it looks like with this Empress energy here that you are in this energy of being stable and grounded and doing well by yourself, for yourself. It took a moment of clarity for you to finally see that you are in the energy of the Empress, which means that you don't need anything. You've worked so hard on you that you no longer need anything. So the need that you thought you had is no longer there, and now you can flip it into, what do I want? Because I don't necessarily have any need for anything. I'm not saying that you're super wealthy. I'm saying that you're content. This is contentment. This is like, I have enough love, I have enough peace, I have enough money, I have enough intuition, I have enough compassion and kindness. It feels like you gave it all back to yourself. And the Chariot just indicates your discipline, right? Now that you've realized that through discipline and hard work and really working hard on it, I feel like you found the discipline to stabilize your energies, feminine and masculine, and now it's time to roll forward. It's time to move forward into the star energy, into the wish fulfillment or the happiness that you wanted. And I feel like now you're in this place with the Empress energy where you can have whatever you want, because you no longer have a need. And when you don't have a need, then you can sort of clear your mind and figure out what it is that you want. We do have the Justice card in the reverse, and we'll talk about that because it seems like there was some sort of injustice. Now, this Justice in reverse feels to me, with the Five of Swords, feels to me like there was an injustice, which means that I feel like there were people, places, things, situations that tried to stop you from getting whatever it is that you wanted, from planning, from getting the job, from getting the raise. It feels like there was some things that were causing injustices for you, but I feel like you became the Empress anyway, whether you're feminine or masculine. Let's talk about this Eight of Swords. Why were you in this Eight of Swords, and how did you get out? We've got the Six of Cups, we've got the Temperance card, and we've got the Nine of Cups. So you know what I feel here, Capricorn, is that whatever you've gone through is now going to end up being a cautionary tale for other people. Because I feel like what was happening here is that you were stuck in nostalgia. And what I mean by that is that I feel like you were stuck in a time where you couldn't. You didn't have the balance, you didn't have the security, where you did have a lot of needs, and maybe you were chasing things rather than attracting them. And so I feel like the Eight of Swords and the Six of Cups is telling me you're trying to perform in the present moment by using old tools, using old thoughts, old thought patterns. And I feel like you finally released it with the Eight of Swords being in the reverse. You finally released the old thought patterns or the nostalgic feelings that you had that were stuck to whatever it was that you had joy with back there. Look, it happens all the time, right? Like, I don't know if any of you have seen Married with Children, the show Married with Children. Like, that's something from my era, maybe. But it was like, you know, the father, all he could ever talk about was the one time that he made a touchdown in school at football, because that was the only time that he had joy. That was the only thing that he ever celebrated through his whole life, and he never accomplished anything else after that. And so I feel like it was almost like you were stuck back in the old school, that you had the one touchdown and that's what you were living on. And then you finally released that and said, that's the old. Now I can sort of go forward and heal my thought pattern, Temperance, heal my thought pattern, get the stability, and go after whatever my wish fulfillment is. So I feel like you finally decide that I'm not going to live in the past anymore. Because in the past, I only had one accomplishment, and it wasn't what I am doing right now. So it no longer applies. And I feel like that's what this relief is. Because the Ten of Swords can be hardship of an end of a cycle. But I feel like it's more like it's relief for you. The relief of release. Now I can let it die. Now I can let it go. And now I can just be in the present moment and work on whatever it is that I'm trying to grow here. It feels like you were overworking yourself because of thoughts of the past. I'm never going to get that done because I'm only going to have one time to celebrate in my life. And you realize here that that's not the truth. Tell me about the Ten of Swords. Tell me why the relief is here, because I feel like you were working really hard, Seven of Pentacles, and finally you get a little bit of relief. We've got the Six of Pentacles. Ah, look at that. We've got the Emperor and the Judgment card. I really love that. I love it because the Judgment card tells me that finally something that kept coming around to you, Capricorn, that you kept ignoring it. You kept ignoring it because you were in the Six of Cups and like, I can't do that. There's no way, I know it's presenting itself to me, but there's no way I'm going to there's no way that I'm going to accomplish that thing. But I feel like now, because you've grown with the Seven of Pentacles, that now you're in this Emperor energy, and the Emperor can conquer anything. And it feels like now when this thing comes back, now you're ready for it, and you know that you have all the security, the stability, the tools, the whatever it is, the wisdom, in order to be able to finally see this thing and take it on. Now we have the Six of Pentacles here. It feels like with the Six of Pentacles, it's like somebody who is going to ask you to do something. Somebody, it's I'm going to say that you go from this place of being here where you're feeling like not a lot of worth, like I bet I might as well just live in that one place in my mind back in my high school days where I got the one touchdown because I'm never going to get anything else out of this life, to this place where people are now begging for your attention, begging for your time, your energy, your effort, or your money. And it's because you are in this Emperor energy. I feel like you're going to have a second chance to do something, and it feels like an opportunity. It could be a person, but it feels like something that you kept ignoring when it came around because you felt like you weren't ready for it is something that is going to show itself again. And now you have enough wisdom and tools and stability and security and confidence to be able to notice this thing and take it on. It might be a teaching opportunity for some of you because the Six of Pentacles is here. It might just be an opportunity to give to your community, to give more than people have given to you. Now you're going to be able to give back. The Six of Pentacles is like you're giving more to one than another. So it feels like you're ignoring the ones who have enough and you're giving to the ones who don't have a whole lot. So it feels like you're being given some sort of an opportunity here. We've got the Two of Cups at the bottom here. We've got the Hermit. No, sorry, the Lovers, not the Two of Cups. We've got the Lovers, the Hermit, and we've got the Knight of Wands. I feel like in the future that there is going to be some sort of an opportunity for you to make a choice. And the thing is that the Hermit being here is also wisdom, right? So it feels like you're in this Emperor energy, whether you're feminine or masculine, you're in this Emperor energy where you're in charge of everything, keeping everything in control. And I feel like there's an opportunity coming here for some of you with the Lovers to make a choice, a really quick choice, based on the wisdom that you have about whether or not you want to dive into a relationship or not. We've got the Four of Swords in the reverse. You're now available, like you're mentally available, whereas maybe you weren't before. So look, we have the Emperor and the Empress in the same reading here. And I feel like you become the Emperor. Possibly you could be the Empress. Take it as it resonates for you. But it feels like you become the Emperor, and now you're ready to charge at whatever it is that you feel is yours. Taurus and Aries energy. You're ready to go get it. Tell me why the Empress is here. We've got the Ten of Cups. We've got the Nine of Pentacles, and we've got the Knight of Cups. So I'm going to say for some of you, there does feel like there is some sort of romantic connection here. There's romantic feelings under the surface. It feels like maybe you didn't feel that you were ready. You didn't feel that you had enough, or that you were enough, or you didn't have enough confidence. But it feels like there is a companion here, whether you want it or not. Maybe some of you don't. But it feels like you're ready for it now. Maybe you weren't ready for it before. You're ready to now pursue it. And so if you're the Empress, of course, you're not the one that's the pursuer. You're going to be pursued. The Empress would never pursue. But I feel like this Empress is feeling pretty confident, is also looking for love and happiness. And now I think the Emperor is ready. So I'm going to say for those of you, as a side thing, right? We were talking about all of your accomplishments, but as a side thing, if this is sort of a reading about love or romance for you, it feels like if you've been waiting, the delay has been that somebody had to ante up. They had to step into their Emperor energy in order to match your Empress energy, or vice versa. Take it as it resonates for you. Somebody had to step into their Empress energy in order to match the Emperor. But it does feel like that there is, for some of you, if you're interested in it, it does feel like there's a connection that's coming in that you weren't ready for before. They weren't ready and you weren't ready. But now we have two people on the same vibration who both have wisdom, who are later on in their lives. So it feels like maybe it was, I've been making the analogy of somebody who made a touchdown back in high school. It feels like maybe it's been that long. Like maybe we're now coming back round and we're finally ready for it. Tell me what this Ace of Swords is. Tell me what the Ace of Swords is. Because it feels like this Ace of Swords is now clarity, where you were kind of in this Five of Swords, indecision, feeling like I couldn't do it. Now I think that's replaced with this clarity here. Yep, the Knight of Swords is here. We've got the Seven of Swords, and we've got the High Priestess. And so you realize that there was really nothing that was being kept from you here. It wasn't being kept from you. You weren't being punished by the universe. You were being prepared. It wasn't punishment. It was preparation, is what it feels like. And so now things are beginning to pick up. We have 5, 6, 7 swords. 7 swords is here. It feels like there was things that were under the surface that you couldn't see or feel because you weren't yet in your high priestess energy. And so it feels like now you get it. Now you're reading the book. Now you don't even need the eyes to see. Now your third eye is seeing everything. It feels like there were things under the surface that you didn't see were there that were being done under the surface in order to prepare you for the place that you are coming up to now. I didn't put down these 2 cards here. We'll take a look here. So perspective changes. Perspective changes, and it changes super quickly. It feels like there is something here, a decision that you're going to be making based on perspective that you've gotten through your wisdom, and you're going to be making a decision either about a relationship or about growing some sort of business. Feels like there is this with this high the hanged man energy, that you are also making some sort of sacrifice based on what your intuition is telling you. And I think that that's coming pretty quickly. This justice that's in the reverse, it does feel like the 5 of Swords is telling me that there are people who are in your life who are like, counted you out. Never going to do that. You're just never going to do that. I don't know why you think you can. It almost feels like a little bit of envy, but it feels like these people are the ones who didn't realize that you were actually the star. And now that you're in this balance, the best balance of your life, now it's time for you to go get what you want. We're going to go into the extended, and we're going to talk about what that is. We're going to clarify this. We're going to clarify this. We'll even talk about a little bit more. We've got the 6 of Wands. You're about to start getting a lot of attention, a lot of celebration. People are celebrating the person that you've become, Capricorn. And so, it's not like you're going to ride into town on a horse and everybody's going to run up to you and start cheering you on. But I feel like in rooms you walk into, in places that you end up adding yourself to, that people notice you shift the energy in a room when you walk in. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. If you want to go to the extended with us, please look in the pinned comment. Pinned comment is at the top of all the comments under every single video that I upload. You can find a link there if you'd like to just purchase this extended one off. You can do that, or you can come to the membership area. And in the membership area is all of the extendeds if you'd like to do that. We're going to be doing a live over the weekend, so if you want to join us in that live, you can do that. But if you would like to have a private reading, I'm also doing private readings, live ones and pre-recorded ones. If you'd like to have a pre-recorded one, please go take a look at my pricing, take a look at my schedule for the live ones, and you get a discount simply just for booking, anywhere between 5 and 75% off. So I'm going to go for now. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you. I'll be back because, well, I'm always back. See you in the extended, and if I don't, well, I'll see you again. Anyway, I'll be back. Bye.